எல்லாருக்கும் பிடிக்கும். The Chennai Silks in தரமான ஆடி பெருமை மிக ஆடி.
வணக்கம். டாடா கர்வ் EV. நம்ம இன்னைக்கு ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் தான் எதிர்பார்த்து வந்தோம். ஆனால் இன்னைக்கு வந்து 2 ப்ராடக்ட்டுமே கண்ணில் காட்டிட்டாங்க. ஸோ ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. இருந்தாலும் இப்பொழுது உடனடியாக விற்பனைக்கு வர போகிறதுன்றது டாடா கர்வ் EV தான். ஸோ அதை பற்றி பேசுவோம். அதே சமயத்தில் டாடா கர்வ் ஐஸ் பற்றியும் பேசுவோம். ஸோ ரெண்டு பற்றியுமே பேசுறதுக்கு நம்ம கூட டாடா மோட்டார்ஸோட வைஸ் பிரசிடென்ட் மிஸ்டர் மோகன் சாவர்கர்.
வணக்கம்.
நம்ம அத்தனை பேருக்கும் ஏற்கனவே அறிமுகமானவர் தான். ஸோ நிறைய இன்டர்வியூஸ் கொடுத்துருக்காரு, நம்மகிட்ட நிறைய பேசியிருக்காரு. ஸோ அதனால் இட்ஸ் ஆல்வேஸ் ப்ளஷர் மீட்டிங் யூ அண்ட் டாக்கிங் டு யூ. இட் வில் பி அ லேர்னிங் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் ஃபார் அஸ். ஸோ தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச் ஃபார் கிவிங் சம் டைம் டு மோட்டார் வெஹிக்கிள் லீடர்ஸ்.
தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் மீட்டிங் அஸ்.
நம்ம வந்து எஸ்யூவி, மிட் சைஸ் எஸ்யூவி, இல்லை வந்து காம்பேக்ட் எஸ்யூவி, இப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு டெக்னாலஜிக்கு தான் நம்ம பழக்கப்பட்டிருக்கோம். ஆனால் இன்னைக்கு அறிமுகமாக இருக்கக்கூடிய டாடா கர்வ் என்பது நீங்கள் வந்து எஸ்யூவி கூப்பே அப்படின்னு ஒரு அடைமொழியோட ஒரு மிட் சைஸ் செடானை நீங்கள் இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க. ஸோ மிட் சைஸ் எஸ்யூவி என்பது எந்த ரகத்தை சேர்ந்தது, அது என்ன டைப்பை சேர்ந்தது, ஸோ ஹவு இட் ஸ்டாண்ட்ஸ் அவுட் ஃப்ரம் த ரெஸ்ட்?
ஸோ ஆஸ் யூ ஹவ் கரெக்ட்லி செட், SUVs come in various sizes. So there is a compact SUV which will be normally less than 4 meters, mid-size SUV around 4.3, and full-size SUV will be about 4.6 and above. So even in the SUV, you will see that in the world, around the world, most of the high-profile players have started using the coupe design style. This style signifies a place in their lineup for vehicles that are normally above normal SUVs. Okay, so it's supposed to be more stylish, more upmarket, more expensive. So we have taken our inspiration from there, that this is a style for which today the time has come in India. So far the time had not come. So we were not able to bring such a thing. But now we feel it is a time. It is a time for India customers to also enjoy coupe kind of product styling. And that is why we brought it in this. And the 4.3 meter appears the right dimension and proportion for the coupe to enter the market very correctly. So we are seeing the first coupe come in the 4.3 meter. I'm sure after this many people in the industry will come, but we will always remain the first ones to come with coupe.
Okay. லோ ஸ்டாண்ட்ஸ் உள்ள கார்களுக்கு தான் நம்ம வந்து இந்த கூப்பே ஸ்டைல் வந்து நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கோம். ஆனால் இது வந்து ஒரு எஸ்யூவி, இது வந்து ஒரு 190 mm அளவுக்கு வந்து இதுக்கு வந்து கிரவுண்ட் கிளியரன்ஸே இருக்கு. ஸோ அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு எஸ்யூவிக்கு கூப்பே ஸ்டைல் கொடுக்கறதுன்றது, இது வந்து இந்த ஸ்டைல் வந்து எப்படி கிளாஸிஃபை பண்ணுறது?
So see, when you look at SUV, a few things that you must look at is, first is total height of vehicle. Normally you will see a sedan will be in the range of 1.5 and so on. The SUVs are normally much taller. Like this is approximately 1.6 plus meters tall. You will see that the wheelbase is much higher. The tire sizes are also, unlike in Nexon which is 16, here tire sizes are 17 and 18, and tires are also very wide, 215 mm. Okay. Plus the wheelbase is also longer than Nexon. So these are few of the characteristics that will differentiate between a small car and a SUV. So that's something that you must always look out for. When someone says they are selling an SUV, please look for these dimensions.
EV கார்ஸ்னா born electric EV கார்ஸ் வந்து வேற ஒரு பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்லையும், ஐஸ் இன்ஜின்ஸ்ன்றது வேற ஒரு பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்லையும், டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ஸில் தான் வந்து ரெண்டுமே ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னு நம்ம நினச்சிட்டு இருக்கோம். ஈவன் நீங்கள் இன்னைக்கு சொன்ன மாதிரியே டாடா கர்வ் இஸ் கன்சிடர்ட் ஒன்லி ஆஸ் எ EV in the first place. Maybe in the later stage, maybe as you are told in the stage, later on, why not ICE also? அப்படின்னு ஒரு முடிவுக்கு வந்து you have developed it. So you have developed simultaneously Tata Curvv EV and as well as the Tata Curvv ICE, but in 2 different platforms. But is the cost are the same?
When you say platform for EV, the platform for EV has to ensure that it can accommodate the largest size of battery in the space available. When you come to ICE, it has to make sure that it provides enough space for occupants inside, and then it also behaves like an SUV. So these 2 requirements will be slightly different between EV and ICE. You would have seen that Gen 1 products of EV and Gen 2 products of EV were transition products, where Tata Motors used ICE platform and made EVs. Now you are seeing that we have started using active platform for EVs, starting with Punch. This is the second product. For ICE, since the birth took place in EV first and then we started coming here, we had to make a platform specially for Curvv. Then now we will see how to use this platform in other future cars also. Okay, and we showed in our presentation all the new things that were done to ensure that this is a new platform that is very, very capable.
Is it a challenge that you are making a same car but in two different platforms?
It is a thinking level challenge. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that when the body comes and sits on the platform, it is able to sit equally well on the EV platform and the ICE platform. From a little far, you will see that there are some similarities. For example, tire sizes of EV and ICE are same, wheelbase is same, tire width is same, wheel track is same. So some things we have tried to keep constant, but other things that are EV specific have been ensured to be in active EV platform, and those are ICE specific are ensured to be on the ICE platform. And that is how we have tried to create the different but common product.
When it comes to the EV, the active platform, the cars that are made in the active platform, you have come out with two battery options. But power it generates, will it also vary or the same?
No, normally the motor size is same. The battery size gives you two different range for driving the car, 45 and 55. That's generally how things will be.
So the motor decides the power of the car.
Yes.
But the battery decides the range of the car.
Yeah.
So that's why even for whether it is a 55 kilowatt battery or 45 kilowatt battery, the power that gets delivered is 167 HP.
Yes.
So that's why these two. Okay, fine, I get it, sir. அட்லஸ் அப்படின்னு சொன்னோம்னா இந்த கிரேக்க மித்தாலஜியில் வந்து ஒரு பலம் பொருந்திய ஒரு மாவீரன் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம், a strong man அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். ஸோ ஒரு உலகத்தையே அவனால் தாங்கிட முடியும். ஸோ அந்த அளவுக்கு கிரேக் மெத்தாலஜியில் அட்லஸ் இருக்கு. பட் when it comes to Tata Motors, what Atlas means and how Atlas is related to the Curvv?
With Curvv, we have designed this new platform. This is the first time this platform is making a car in the market. And in the future, of course, we'll see that this platform will be used for other cars also. And this platform had to make sure that now we are launching a car in 2024. So it has to be suitable for cars in 2024, starting in 2024, but also becoming future ready. For all the future, let's say, safety regulations or any other regulations that come into India, we should be able to cater to with this platform. So with that in mind, this platform has been created. So for a platform like this, it's important that if we are speaking about safety, so first of all, how a crash pulse or an impact load from a crash will travel to the car has to be taken care of. So you have to make sure that the load paths are continuous without a break. There are multiple load paths so that the load gets distributed, and that takes care of only one aspect, which is what happens if there's an impact from the front. So you have continuous framework to support that. And then we also showed you in the picture that there are bulkheads. So like if you've seen in an aircraft or you have seen in a submarine, so when there is a fuselage, you will normally have sections in the middle which are extremely strong. Those sections are then connected with the continuous framework in the direction of the car. These two together make the platform extremely strong, okay? And that is what gives it the torsional rigidity. So something that is extremely torsionally rigid will make sure that when you're sitting in the car and driving, you will feel very less of the road inputs coming in, because the structure is strong enough to make sure that all those are taken care of. In addition, then the attachment points for the engine, suspension are also made extremely stiff, which means that anything that happens on the road does not travel inside the compartment. So all these four things have been taken care of while making the platform. The fifth thing, of course, is that we are able to make many cars out of this, right from 3.6 to something like 4.6 meters. Many widths can be done, many body shapes can be done. So we are kind of getting ready for the future with this platform.
So different sizes, different body shapes. இந்த பிளாட்ஃபார்மில் பண்ண முடியும். சென்டர் ஆஃப் கிராவிட்டி பற்றி சொன்னீங்க. ஏன்னா இந்த இடத்துல வந்து ஆக்டிவ் சேஃப்டின்னும் போது வேகமாக போகும்போது இந்த கார் வந்து நிலைத்தன்மையோட ஸ்டேபிளாக பிளான்டடாக போகணும்னா சென்டர் ஆஃப் கிராவிட்டி பிளேஸ் a major role.
So in the EV, because there's a battery and the battery is placed low in the car, the center of gravity has come down by about 60 mm compared to others. And the moment the center of gravity has come down, it is felt in the way the car drives also. You will find that when you take a steep turn, the car will not have roll. It will be very planted on the ground. And that's the benefit of having a low center of gravity.
இன்று வந்து ஆக்சுவலாக நம்ம எதிர்பார்த்து வந்தது வந்து ஒன்று தான். ஏன்னா அந்த இன்வைட்டில் என்ன சொல்லியிருந்தாங்கன்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, இது வந்து டாடா கர்வ் EV அப்படின்னு தான் இன்வைட்டில் சொல்லியிருந்தது. ஆனால் இன்றைக்கி கர்வ் ஐஸ் என்ஜின் நம்ம பார்த்துட்டோம், அந்த கார்களையும் பார்த்துட்டோம். நம்ம எதிர்பார்க்காத இன்னொரு விஷயம் இங்கே என்ன இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் ஆச்சுன்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, ஆக்சுவலாக நீங்கள் புதுசாக இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த இன்ஜின்ஸ் நியூ இன்ஜின்ஸ் பற்றி நீங்கள் சொல்லணும்.
So today we showed you 2 new engines and 1 new transmission. The first engine we showed you was the 1.2 GDI petrol engine, which we had shown in the Auto Expo about 2 years ago. At that time also I think we had spoken.
Yes.
So now that has actually taken birth. And in this you will see that we have brought in many new things that we have tried to do with this engine. Making a GDI engine itself is a very big, let's say, involved job. So first of all, what we have done in this is we have started with the 350 bar injection pressure. You will see that no one in India has done this so far. The way this helps is with 350 bar, we are able to make the petrol droplets very, very small as they come out of the injectors. That gives it very good mixture with the air and therefore it can burn very nicely, which means that we are able to extract more power from the same amount of fuel. Then we also showed you that we are using special kind of nozzles. Those nozzles are third generation nozzles, in which what happens is we are able to control the exact amount of fuel that goes out, and those nozzles don't wear out so easily. Otherwise what will happen, you will see that after some time you have to replace injectors in GDI engines. Because of the injectors that we are using, we don't have to do that, or our customers don't have to do that almost for the entire life of the car. This gives extremely good control on the amount of fuel that is injected for every injection cycle. And the way that helps then is we are able to make a very precise calculation of how much fuel should go in. Because of which once again there is a very long life for the engine and the injectors, and that also helps. Then we said about a few more technologies that we have brought in into this car. So for example, we have a VGT. So the way the VGT works is, you would know that in a turbocharged engine, we are taking exhaust gases and running a turbine. That turbine is connected to a compressor on the intake side. So it pulls in more air, compresses and sends it into the engine. This turbine that we are using can do 250,000 revolutions per minute, which is very high. But then what we have made sure is that the turbine does not need to do 250,000 RPM to produce the nominal torque and power value, which is 125 PS and 225 Newton meters. It has extra capacity. When is that used? When you go to high altitudes or when you want to have a sudden overtake. At that time, if you press the accelerator a little more, the turbine is able to go up to the final RPM and give you more air inside the engine. That helps to burn more fuel, and that gives you that extra bit more power. So all these things have been included in the engine that we have made.
ஓகே, இது இந்த இன்ஜினுடைய இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸை சம் அப் பண்ணி ரெண்டே வழியில் சொன்னோன்னா, 2 லைன்ஸ் சொல்லணும்னா, how will you say that?
It's an extremely modern and contemporary engine that will have a huge life in front of it, and all the people who drive it will be able to experience the power, the refinement and the life that they are getting out of this engine.
Okay, now come to diesel engine பற்றி சொல்லிட்டு.
Yeah. So for a car of this size in India, you know that 1.5 liters is the ideal size. So we had an earlier 1.5 liter engine. We started with the same volume, but we have replaced many things in it.
Can you say it's a completely new engine?
Yes, yes. For example, the turbocharger is new, the combustion design is new, the crankshaft and the way the pistons are topping are new. So many things are very, very different in that engine. And once again, by use of all these aggregates, we are able to ensure that the engine is able to give you a very good torque and power, as well as very good refinement. The combustion has been done very well. There's something called brake thermal efficiency, which for this engine is about 41 now. Okay, it's much higher than what we used to have earlier. And this brake thermal efficiency indicates, let's say, the efficiency with which we are able to burn the diesel inside. So for the same quantity of diesel, we are able to get more power or more energy out of the fuel. That energy, when it comes out, can get translated either into power or into fuel efficiency. And that is why you will see that with this engine, we have been able to get the best fuel efficiency for mid SUV cars also.
Okay.
It's just 22.4.
Okay. So apart from this diesel engine, the old engine also remains.
Old engine remains in older cars. New engine is in new cars.
New cars. Next one is ஒரு எண்டில் இருக்குது, சஃபாரி ஹேரியர்னா அதர் எண்டில் இருக்குது. ஸோ இப்போ இது ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் மிடில் தான் இப்போ கர்வ் வந்து இங்கே ஃபிட் ஆகிருக்கு. ஸோ இது மிட் சைஸ் எஸ்யூவி கூப்பே. ஸோ இந்த மிட் சைஸ் எஸ்யூவி கூப்பே வந்து எந்த அளவுக்கு இது ஓவர்லேப் ஆகும், இது மார்க்கெட்டிங் கொஸ்டின் தான், பட் தான் நீங்கள் சொல்லலாம். எப்படியே கூட கேட்டாங்க, வெதர் ஏன்னா எங்கள் ப்ரைஸ் வந்து ரொம்ப காம்படிட்டிவாக ஏறக்குறைய 17.49 தான் வந்து ஆரம்ப விலையே இருக்குது. அப்படின்னும் போது நெக்ஸான் வாங்க போகிற அந்த வாடிக்கையாளரே அங்கே போயிடுவாங்களா, வெதர் வந்து கேனிபலைஸ் ஆகுமா, இப்படியெல்லாம் சில கேள்விகள் எழுப்புனாங்க. அதுக்கு நீங்கள் டெக்னிக்கலாக பதில் சொல்ல வேணாம், மார்க்கெட்டிங் என்ன பதில் சொன்னாலும் அதையும் நீங்கள் எங்கள் வாசகர்களுக்காக சொல்லலாம்.
These three cars have very different customer types. Someone who buys Nexon is not likely to buy the mid SUV, is not likely to buy the high SUV because their needs are different. Normally, someone who buys a Nexon, you will see, are first-time buyers. They're also living in cities where the lanes are quite narrow. On the other hand, someone who buys a 4.3 meter car or a 4.6 meter car will have necessity of driving intercity on highways, going on for long trips. So those people will generally buy the bigger cars. There will also be people who are buying their second, third, fourth car, who understand what is a car, how it should behave, and they'll be very, very choosy about going for the mid SUV or the high-end SUV. So there's a huge difference in the people who buy. There is, of course, a little chance that someone who went to the showroom to buy a Nexon ended up buying a mid SUV, or someone who went for mid SUV
Chances.
ended up buying this. But isn't that what happens when you go and buy clothes or when you go and buy cell phones?
உண்மை.
But all are ours only, so it doesn't matter for us if you buy this or that.
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே, தட்ஸ் குட். பர்சனலாக கர்வ் EV உங்களுக்கு எது பிடிக்கும்?
I will buy the ice.
You will buy the ice.
Yes.
Okay, because I am the ice man.
Ice. Plus, I mean, I've let's say grown up with ice cars.
Okay.
So today, at least, ice is the choice. But I do understand that the future is going to be EVs only.
EV. So in the EV, what is the feature you like the most?
In the EV,
Yeah.
it's extremely quiet, and it is able to go from 0 to 100 in 8.6 seconds. So it's very fast also. So it's very nice.
Okay. In ice?
In ice, it is that you can drive long distances without worrying about where you will refuel next. If you want to go from here to Kanyakumari, you don't have to plan, just sit in the car and move, and I'm sure you will reach the other end safely.
தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச். நம்ம தமிழில் தான் கேட்டோம், பட் இருந்தாலும் வந்து மோகன் சாவர்கர் சார் வந்து எல்லா தமிழில் நம்ம கேட்ட கேள்வியை நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு இங்கிலீஷில் பதில் சொன்னீங்க. தேங்க்யூ வெரி வெரி மச்.
எல்லாமே நல்லா இருக்கும், எல்லாருக்கும் பிடிக்கும். The Chennai Silks in தரமான ஆடி பெருமை மிக ஆடி.